Welcome to yet another fallacy committed by both statists and the religious. You know, when I started this series, I really hoped to be able to engage in a rational dialogue with atheist skeptics who aren't libertarians. So far, they've completely resisted this, resorting to the same fallacies and tactics I've been pointing out, and engaging in the very same sort of ad hominem and poisoning the well attacks they complain about others doing. It'd be nice if they showed a little bit of self-awareness here, but this is an important series pointing out vital concepts, so soldier on we must. This one is about the original sin fallacy. With religion, this is distinct from the dogma of original sin, which states that after the fall, we are all born sinful and therefore need to be saved. No, this is a different but related fallacy where the religious person says,
"Without God, what would stop you from killing and raping a bunch of people?"
It's similar to the argument from morality we covered in Part 8, but in this case, it has to do with what the claimant says is the very nature of humanity itself. It can be summarized as,
"How can you be good without God?"
Here's an example from Ray Comfort.
"Do you think you're a good person?"
Sure, for the most part. I'm not perfect, but yeah, I'd say I'm a good person.
"Have you ever told a lie?"
Well, yeah, hasn't everybody at some point? Even if it's back in their childhood?
"Then doesn't that make you a liar?"
Really? This is supposed to be some kind of knockdown argument? Lying even at one point in your life makes you a liar? I fixed my sink one time. Does that make me a plumber? Not that Ray Comfort has shown any compunction about lying over and over again about what atheists say and believe, but I guess he's saved, so that doesn't matter. At any rate, by Comfort's logic, if you've done even one good thing in your life, then that makes you a good person, so it's completely self-defeating. But religions all over the world depend on the concept of humans being inherently selfish and evil, and therefore in need of being saved by some outside force. It's like you're infected with some kind of disease, and hey, what do you know? Our religion has the cure. This pervades the Abrahamic religions.
It was because Adam sinned, and we all became inherently evil after that.
Even if they don't take it literally, it's...
Genesis is a metaphor, but it describes how we're all inherently evil and need to be saved.
And what's the point of all this?
That God is awesome and will forgive us anyway.
We see this all the time with professional athletes. When they win, it's...
"Thank you, God, for the win. You made my feet swift and brought our team to victory."
But when they lose, do they ever say,
"Hey, did you see that part in the third quarter when Jesus made me fumble?"
Everything good we do is due to external forces, i.e. God, but everything bad we do is all us. What's interesting about this is most rational atheists consider themselves to be humanists, which is about exalting human beings, not making them out to be inherently evil. But as soon as you start talking about politics, all of a sudden, people become inherently evil again.
If we had anarchy, everyone would go around killing each other.
Really? You actually think it would work the way it does in Mad Max?
Well, yeah. Mad Max is anarchy and Star Trek is socialism.
Maybe you shouldn't learn economics from pop culture fiction. Isn't it funny how, in the real world, socialism ends up being more like Somalia and Venezuela?
But that's not real socialism.
Oh, come on! We did No True Scotsman back in Part 13.
Oh, right. Sorry.
But they use this to denigrate libertarianism.
Libertarianism only works if people are good.
But if libertarians believe that everyone's good, why are we so insistent on the right to keep and bear arms? So anyway, you think people are inherently bad.
Of course.
So what should we do?
We need government, of course.
And who will be in this government?
Well, people, naturally.
The very same inherently bad people you're worried about to begin with? This is nothing but the original sin fallacy. People are inherently evil, and so they can't be trusted. Therefore, we can't have libertarianism. Steven Weinberg famously said, With or without religion, you'd have good people doing good things and evil people doing evil things. But for good people to do evil things, it takes religion. He was wrong. The biggest way to get good people to do evil is not religion, but government. R.J. Rummel posted figures in his book Death by Government that showed that, during the 20th century, governments all over the world murdered 262 million people. That's not in wars, that's not as capital punishment, that's not even atrocities they commit against foreigners. It's the outright murder of their own citizens, and not by corrupt actors in government, but in those implementing their policies. 262 million, not counting the 35 million killed in wars, revolutions, and violent conflicts. By comparison, there were only 9 million murders committed by private citizens in that same time period. No one holds a candle to government. How can they get away with it? That was one question people wanted an answer to in the Nuremberg trials. Hermann Goering supplied it to U.S. Army Captain Gustav Gilbert. Of course the people don't want war. Why would some poor slob on a farm want to risk his life in a war when the best that he can get out of it is to come back to his farm in one piece? Naturally, the common people don't want war, neither in Russia, nor in England, nor in America, nor for that matter in Germany. That is understood. But, after all, it is the leaders of the country who determine the policy, and it's always a simple matter to drag the people along, whether it's a democracy, a fascist dictatorship, or a parliament, or a communist dictatorship. Voice or no voice, the people can always be brought to the bidding of the leaders. That is easy. All you have to do is tell them they are being attacked, and denounce the pacifists for lack of patriotism and exposing the country to greater danger. It works the same way in any country. Nowadays, Americans range from blasé to enthusiastic support of the president using drones to bomb people, even children, in countries where we aren't even at war. Otherwise good people, driven to support evil solely because it's the leaders in government committing the atrocities. Robert Lefevre said, "If men are good, you don't need a government. If men are evil, you don't dare have one." But it seems that, even though people aren't inherently evil, you still don't dare have one. Stay tuned.